Hi everyone, welcome to RefuSHE's Fashion Challenge Reimagined.
I'm Jaylon.
And I'm Ariana. As we kick off our first ever virtual fashion challenge experience, we want to share that we know technology isn't perfect and there may be some glitches along the way. So please bear with us. Our team has worked hard to put together a beautiful experience for you. So get comfortable with your browser's refresh button just in case. This event is live and being recorded in Chicago, but will be recorded and accessible for viewing until 6:30 p.m. Central on Saturday, June 20th.
Thank you all for taking the time to join us. The Fashion Challenge celebrates the resilience and strength of the refugee girls, young women, and children that we serve. And especially in times like these, we want to make sure to celebrate them and amplify their voices.
Yes, absolutely. RefuSHE was founded on the principle that every woman deserves the right to flourish. Young refugee women deserve the space to heal, grow, and ultimately lead. RefuSHE is that space.
This event was inspired by Project Runway. It's been a staple on the Chicago scene for events in the springtime. Our co-founders, Ann Sweeney and Talon Good, wanted to find a way to bring our work from Kenya closer to our supporters here in Chicago, where we're headquartered. While we were sad to cancel our in-person event, we're thrilled to be able to bring this RefuSHE tradition to the world through our virtual experience. Ariana, do you want to tell our audience a little bit about how this event is going to run?
Yes, but first, let's make sure everyone is signed up and has an account on GiveSmart. GiveSmart is the platform we'll be using to vote on your favorite looks and bid on our incredible silent auction packages. You'll find the link below our video screen here in order to get registered if you haven't yet already. All right, hopefully now everyone has signed up or is signing up through GiveSmart. So let's get started. First, members of our team in Kenya will take you through a virtual tour of our campus in Nairobi, where they will share more about our work and our holistic model. Then you will hear from our alumna, Chantal Zuzi, who will share her story as a refugee from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Chantal was a participant in our programs for many years before being resettled to Boston, Massachusetts in late 2019. You may have actually seen her recently during a reunion interview with Angelina Jolie. Next, the runway show, which I know we're all so excited for. Following the runway show will be, you'll hear from our panel of expert judges who will share their thoughts on this year's looks. Remember, this year, you, the audience, get to choose the winner. You can vote on any of your favorite looks for just $20 a vote, but we encourage you to vote more than once. The more votes, the more likely that the look you love will be the winner of this year's competition. The competition will run from this evening through Saturday, June 20th at 6 p.m. Central, which is World Refugee Day, when we will announce the winner.
And don't forget about the silent auction. You can bid at any time. We've got some incredible packages, from gorgeous artwork to a trip to Kenya, and some self-care packages, which I think we all need right now. So don't forget to bid on your favorite item. The silent auction also closes at 6:30 p.m. Central on June 20th.
And so if you haven't done so yet, or you are just now joining us, please take a moment to follow the link below this video screen and sign up on GiveSmart. We should have now both tabs open, so Jaylon and I speaking and our videos, and then the GiveSmart tab. It will make this whole experience more seamless for you. Please note the system will ask you to link a credit card, but your credit card will only be charged once at the end of the event on Saturday, June 20th.
The best part, 100% of the proceeds from the silent auction and voting for your favorite outfit goes to supporting RefuSHE's transformative model of care for unaccompanied, separated, and orphaned refugee girls, young women, and their children in East Africa. We're so thrilled to be here with you. We're so grateful to our community who continue to show up for our girls. All of our new viewers, welcome to the RefuSHE family. And now we're going to pass it on to our colleague in Kenya, Tamasha, who is going to talk a little bit more about our work.
Hi, thank you, Jaylon and Ariana, for the introduction. I'm very excited to join all of you for RefuSHE's Fashion Challenge. My name is Tamasha, Case Management Coordinator at RefuSHE in Kenya, and I have been with the organization since June 2018. So just a little bit on the case management program. It's basically the support center of the organization, and it comprises of counselors and caseworkers, where we all work together to make sure we are providing services that mitigate the effects of trauma as a result of the physical and emotional challenges our girls went through in their countries of origin, during flight, and also in Kenya. So we provide a wide range of services to every girl in the organization, starting from the first day of enrollment all the way until they graduate our programs. At the top of our priority is the provision of basic needs, where we ensure that every girl has access to food, water, shelter, clothing, and medication. Bearing in mind that majority of our girls are survivors of war, survivors of sexual and gender-based violence, and also young mothers, we also provide psychosocial support, where our counselors work with every individual girl through individual therapy sessions to help them work through the traumatic effects or the experiences that they went through. And also through group sessions, they are able to help them to build resilience and to find a more positive outlook at life. A major component of our work as case managers is the protection of the girls, and we do this by making sure that every girl has the right documentation to be in the country and also the right documentation to operate in Nairobi, where our services are based. The case management program also supports the function of other programs in the organization, and especially the Girls Empowerment Program, which comprises of the Artisan Collective and the school program. By ensuring that every girl in the organization has access to food, she does not have to worry about rent, she is healthy, and her child is also healthy, then they are able to concentrate in the classes and also be productive in the Artisan Collective. I would say that the most challenging component of our work is the emotional aspect of it, and especially at enrollment, where we receive girls at their most vulnerable and most needy state. I'm reminded of a case, one of my first cases when I joined the organization. She was a 15-year-old girl. She was heavily pregnant, severely malnourished, and you could tell just by being around her that she had not, just by talking to her, that she had not had a meal for several days and had not even had a bath. She was just roaming the streets when she met other girls from RefuSHE, and they helped her to bring her to the organization. So I sat with her, and she was taking me through, what how when she had come to the country, what had happened to her. She had been raped by an unknown man and gotten pregnant along the way, and then the caregiver had kicked her out of the house, so she had nowhere to be. She could barely speak the language, and you could tell she was distraught, had given up, and had just come to RefuSHE to see what kind of help she could get. So because of her state, we admitted her into the Safe House program, which basically provides a very sensitive and specialized support to the most vulnerable of girls. We were able to take her to hospital, where she was attended to, and a few months later she had her baby. She was able to, our nurse in the Safe House program was able to take her through parenting classes, how to take care of her child, recognizing, fevers and all those things. And after a few months, she was able to successfully graduate to the community level, where we placed her in group living with other girls just like her, and we are able to support them with rent and everything else they need. And we also referred her to the school program, where she now is. And I can say, if you see her today, you would not believe that she's the same girl. She is just a totally different person from who I met. And I think for me to see her today, just, she's so beautiful, and not in that generic all human beings are beautiful kind of way, just like a really head turner kind of beauty. It gives me hope, because I can see that she was able to become herself. As much as I'm saying that she's a totally different person, I realize no, she's actually who she really is. That's the person I met was a totally different person, but this is who she is. And I'm so glad that RefuSHE was able to offer and is able to offer so many girls like her the opportunity to thrive, the opportunity to dream, the opportunity to become themselves. So it is such things that motivate me as an individual, as a case manager, as a staff member, as a human being, and as a woman, to come to work every single day, to know that I'm providing one other girl an opportunity to become herself, an opportunity to move from day-to-day survival, what will I eat today, to a place of starting to dream, where you hear them talking about, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a journalist, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a big designer, that they have moved from that place of survival to that place of dreaming, which every human being deserves to dream. And so I think for me now, I would say seeing them become, seeing them dream, seeing them develop a personality, or maybe having their personalities come out, is the most rewarding aspect, the most rewarding component of the work we do at RefuSHE. So thank you for taking the time to learn more about RefuSHE's programs. And now our Executive Director, Geoffrey Thige, will take you on a journey to Kenya, where you will see what our work looks like here in Nairobi through the eyes of some of the girls and young women in our care.
Respect, honor, dignity. RefuSHE works to protect, educate, and empower refugee girls and young women in East Africa.
We are a unique organization because we use a holistic model in our approach towards refugee issues.
Today, the world has the highest number of refugees we have ever seen. There are more than 18 million displaced people in sub-Saharan Africa, and over half of this population is under the age of 18.
I left Eritrea when I was 7 years old because our government doesn't allow us Christians to be there.
From Congo, I left because of the war.
I'm 15 years old. I'm from Somalia. I left Somalia because of political instability.
I'm from Ethiopia. I'm 22 years old. I have a kid.
RefuSHE serves unaccompanied and orphan refugee girls, young women, and children coming to Nairobi from across East Africa, who all find a home here.
UNHCR helped me to get in touch with RefuSHE.
My neighbor, she told me about RefuSHE. When I come, they took me out, their own child. And the UN came to take me and put me in the safe house.
It's been a transformational journey. I've seen girls who have come within our programming very vulnerable, lacking a lot of confidence, and we've seen a journey where these girls blossoming up.
RefuSHE is dedicated to providing quality, trauma-informed education to each girl that steps through our doors.
We have the Girl Empowerment Program, which is basically an educational program. We have teachers on board who teach these girls at the accelerated education model.
Like now I'm sitting on my KCP, which means Kenya Certificate Primary Education. They help me to pay my rent. They help us to get food and also education. I like refugees so much because they help me with education and shelter, food, clothes, everything.
RefuSHE's Artisan Collective allow girls to express themselves creatively while providing them with the skills to become economically independent.
We train the girls to do business, so we have financial literacy training, business skill training, and they're able to use vocational skills where they're able to come up with scarves, and we pay them a stipend on a monthly basis as a way of transitioning them from dependency to independence.
I joined Artisan Collective. I like because of its handmade skills.
I'm a creative person. I love creating things. I want to be a professional designer and a model. If I get opportunities so I can show my talent to the world.
I want to be a lawyer so that I can talk to my people.
So I want to become a doctor. I would like to go back to my country and help them.
Yeah, I want to be a big designer.
What would be possible if every refugee girl had the resources to reach her fullest potential?
We at RefuSHE do not look at refugees just as numbers. We identify refugees as people, so our main interest is to be able to transform one girl after another girl. Refugees are not just numbers, they are not faceless, they are people who just need an opportunity to make their lives better. Our holistic model is able to inform and support this aspiration.
Help us build a brighter future for refugee girls. Visit refushe.org to learn more about how you can make an impact today.
I hope everyone enjoyed their virtual trip to Kenya with us. I know that I can't wait until it's safe to go back and that I can hopefully give safe giant hugs to our team and our girls. I really miss them. I also hope that people will consider coming and visiting Kenya, meeting our team and our girls in person, seeing the magnificent country that it is. Now we're going to journey over to Boston, where our alumna, Chantal, is going to tell us a bit more about her experience and what is she up to now.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me here today. I'm so glad to have the opportunity to share with you my story. Well, I came from a strange world, which is known as the Republic Democratic of Congo, where my mother gave birth to me. The first question she was asked by the doctor was, "Do you want this child?" Arriving home with me, my grandma was shocked and she shouted, "You have to kill the baby or you'll have to forget that we are your family." But my mother chose me as her albino daughter when I was just hours old. In my community, an albino is viewed as an outcast, someone who should not live and does bodies good only for sacrificial purposes. I came from a family of 10 children, 5 girls and 5 boys. I was the 6th born and the first albino. Growing up was a challenge. I remember going to school but not being able to see or read what was on the board. There were no accommodation for students with limited vision. All I could do was listen and borrow notes from others. My brothers helped me with my notes so that I wouldn't get beaten or punished from not having notes. I remember telling my mother that I did not see the prospect of going to school because I was not able to see. But guess what? She reminded me how lucky I was to be attending school, that she had no opportunity to do so because she was forced into marriage at the age of 14. She says I must keep on going. She believed that education was the key to success. Sadly, at 13 years old, I lost my 2 beloved parents in a massacre. This time, I felt like the world was pouring bitterness toward me and that this was the end of my life. My country did not want me. They did not give me education or even protection. They stole my innocence, took away my parents, and finally kidnapped me and did whatever they wanted to my body. I remember running away to Uganda. Life in the camp. It was difficult to get water to drink or wash with, food to eat. I would try to find a better place to sleep, always wondering if I would be safe, and not getting any education was a sorrow for me. But I became the president of people with albinism in the camp. My job was to represent them to the UNHCR agency and the government. I connected them with services when needed, and I organized the cleaning of the living space. The people with albinism had many issues, like that the sun was dangerous for them. They got burns and developed cancer. They did not receive good treatment. Some of them died. I advocated for them to the Human Rights Commission. But the representative in the camp of the government in the camp were not happy with me going to the human rights. So I was told to not go to the human rights or else my family will never get support. This time I felt helpless. I took a huge decision to leave my family in the camp and go to Kenya to ask for protection and most of all for education. I got a camera from a workshop, so I sold that camera to get transportation to go to Kenya. Leaving my family was painful, but I didn't have much of a choice. Arriving in Kenya, I find myself in the middle of nowhere. I reported myself to the police and they were able to take me to the UNHCR. The UN agency took me to RefuSHE so that I could get education and protection that I needed. This is a place where I met other girls who had similar situations. Some of us were kids and had kids. Those parents they didn't even know and could not name. We were all united by the common circumstances of having survived horrific traumas. Events that have come to define our lives. Events that we did not ask to be part of, but we were forced into, and somehow we survived. RefuSHE held all these young women and let us know that we were not alone. They gave us training such as academic studies. We had a tailoring class in which we learned how to sew skirts, dresses. We had Artisans Collective in which I learned how to make scarves, bags, and many variety of designs. We slept well, we got treated when we were sick, and most importantly, we got food to fill our stomach. We treated one another like sisters and helped each other with our children's. The training that they gave us helped us to realize our dream when we leave the organization. Tell me, what would I have done without RefuSHE? It is because of supporters like you, people I've ever met who made such a difference in my life and the lives of so many other young women, that the work of RefuSHE continue to brighten the future for those of us who are most in need of hope and rescue. I can truly say that you all are RefuSHE's heroes. Look at me now in the United States. I am getting my education, and one day will prove to my country that if they have given me an education or a protection, I could have done so much more than they thought. Never give up in life. Always remember that you are not only supporting RefuSHE, but you are changing lives. Always be grateful and see how lucky you are. Thank you.
That video really embodies Chantel's effervescence. She's such an inspiration. She's the kindest heart that I've ever met. She always thinks about everyone else over herself. Do you know that she checks in on me every week to make sure that I'm having my self-care?
Aww, she truly has such a beautiful heart. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, our 2020 Fashion Challenge show is about to begin. Over the past few months, 7 talented designers have been working hard on creating unique runway looks using fabric handmade by members of our artisan collective, like Rashab and Latu, who you met earlier in our video from Nairobi. After the fashion show, you'll get to hear from our judges, Cheryl Jackson of Grit and Grace, Kahindo Mateen, designer of luxury fashion brand Kahindo, Monica Singh, designer and partner of the Conscious Fashion Campaign, and Travis Paul Martin of Skoog PR, who will share their thoughts on how this year's outfits stack up.
Thank you, judges. This year, for the first time, you, the audience, are ultimately going to get to decide who the winner is of this year's Fashion Challenge Reimagined by voting on your favorite look or looks. And for those of you who love Project Runway, now is the time to channel your best Tim Gunn and Heidi Klum. We're so excited to reveal the 7 outfits and the stories that inspire them. Lights, camera, action!
See what you done to me, girl. I thought you'd never leave. I thought you'd never leave, yeah. Nakupenda masheri, nakupenda masheri. You're the only one for me. You're the only one. Niajim super, one vibes nakupa. I'm just tryna get to know ya. I'm just tryna get to know ya, girl. Niajim super. One vibes nakupa. I'm just tryna get to know ya. I'm just tryna get to know ya, girl. Wani bamba kuruka, wani bamba kuruka. I ain't tryna confuse ya. No, I ain't tryna confuse ya. I'm just tryna be with ya. I'm just tryna be with ya. Just give me this one chance. Hey, give me this one chance, girl. Niajim super. One vibes nakupa. I'm just tryna get to know ya. I'm just tryna get to know ya, girl. Niajim super. My vibes nakupa. I'm just tryna get to know ya. I'm just tryna get to know ya. Do you wanna go on a date with me? Just pick a time and a place for real. Cause Suez and the Java baby. I really wanna show you that I'm for real, yeah. Pendo, 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 pendo. You made me no panda. I wanna hold you down I'm for real. Konzia Jan to December. Yeah, Jim Super. I'm just tryna get to know ya. I'm just tryna get to know ya. Yeah, Jim Super. Man rides in a Cooper. I'm just tryna get to know ya. I'm just tryna get to know ya, girl.
Oh my goodness, I loved that show. We were so excited to feature a local Kenyan artist, BV Accurate, as well. His music is so catchy. We hope you'll check him out.
I loved all the looks. It's going to be really hard to choose my favorite. Are we ready to start voting? Because I know I am.
Yes, I'm so excited to see what everyone else thinks. All right, here's the breakdown, friends. Remember how you registered on GiveSmart at the beginning of the event. If you're tuning in a little late, no judgment. We know days and times are no longer a thing in quarantine. Just go ahead and do that now, below our video screen here. Once you've registered, scroll down on this page and click where it says Vote on your favorite design. This will open up a GiveSmart tab where you will be able to see the 7 looks in greater detail and place your votes. Make sure to sign into your account before voting as well. If you're having any issues getting onto GiveSmart, go ahead and shoot a quick email over to info@RefuSHE.org and our colleagues Adele and Emily will help to get it resolved.
Yes, no voter left behind. Remember, $20 is 1 vote. You can place as many votes as you want for your favorite outfit to make sure that it wins, or you can be generous and spread those votes out among your favorite outfits. Our goal is to raise $150,000
onto GiveSmart, go ahead and shoot a quick email over to info@RefuSHE.org, and our colleagues Adele and Emily will help to get it resolved.
Yes, no voter left behind. Remember, $20 is one vote. You can place as many votes as you want for your favorite outfit to make sure that it wins, or you can be generous and spread those votes out among your favorite outfits. Our goal is to raise $150,000. So the more votes that you cast, the faster you can help us reach that goal. And the designer with the most votes by 6:30 Central on Saturday will be crowned the winner.
Okay, so you should be in GiveSmart now. Does everyone have it open? Let's get started with the competition. We are moving to the GiveSmart tab now, so keep us and the GiveSmart tab open. In GiveSmart, you will again see the 7 looks in greater detail. There will be multiple photos for each design, as well as information on the RefuSHE participant that inspired that look. So if you're ready to vote on your favorite look, let's go ahead and get started. And if not, let's hear from the judges and hopefully they'll help you make a decision.
And remember, keep this tab open. Ariana and I will be on this page and we'll be keeping everyone updated on how things are going. Let's make this competition fierce.
First, let's hear about Taylor Graves' design inspired by Clementine.
If not my favorite, one of my top 2 favorite pieces. It is strong. So strong and so striking. With the sleeves, I'm a sleeve girl. Give me some drama in the sleeves and I'm there. The pleating and the voluminous nature of the sleeves.
From like the OB belt to the pocket, the mix of fabrics, it was different, and I think Clementine would really like and appreciate that.
Let's hear about Amy Fenderson's design inspired by IMA.
I liked watching the video of this one. I thought the movement of the dress was really nice. I really liked the organza overlay. I felt like it still really let kind of the RefuSHE fabric shine through and stand out, and didn't really take away from that, and it just kind of added to the overall look of it. I thought it was very pretty.
I think it was very flowy and flirty. It was very well made. It invoked a feeling of happiness, and I think Amy was really able to capture the essence of Amy from Congo. There was a lot of design which I think Amy, the RefuSHE girl, would really appreciate. Her favorite color is green, and Congo is very green, with the forest, and so I think it would remind her of home.
Let's hear about Xochitl Herrera Shear's design inspired by Bershab.
This was a lovely piece. What I liked most about this piece was how she accessorized the piece. She used fabric to create a nod to the African neckwear or an African neck plate. And I just thought it was so clever, so elegant and subtle the way that she made the reference. But I got it. The way you told that, you whispered that story to me was beautiful.
The one thing that stood out for me was like the fringe neck detail, and that off the shoulder detail, the braided belt. This is something I can envision someone wearing to like a beach party or a beach wedding, and incorporated Bershebe's favorite color, which is blue.
Let's hear about Kate Van Asten's design inspired by Jessica.
The bow has a lining of the skirt fabric, which is tie and dye fabric, and the skirt of tie and dye has a lining of solid navy blue, with an extension version of a lining which allows her to bring the balance of solid and the print all together.
I loved the culottes. I thought they were very flattering. The material really stood out and was the star. I loved the navy lining coming through the bottom of the culotte. I thought that was a really nice detail and was really pretty.
Let's hear about Fraley Lee's design inspired by Cecile.
I love the creativity and the kind of detail that went into creating these beautiful rosettes into this dress, into this outfit. Liked it a lot.
And this was really, I think, one of the styles that really stood out for me. It was, I think, the most creative design. And, you know, the girl, she unfortunately had to, you know, leave Congo due to political instability, which, of course, I've experienced. I'm from Congo. And she was considered, you know, royalty. So this really encapsulated that. You know, it was very royal and, like I said, very regal. And there was a lot of design and a lot of detail. You could see a lot of work went into it.
Let's hear about Concetta Cipriano's design inspired by Solange.
That top has so much drama in it, with it off the shoulders and a cascading hemline down to the floor. It just brings all of the drama.
I loved the concept of the top with the train. I thought that was very pretty. I like the sleeve and arm detail. I feel like this, out of a lot of the looks, would be really commercially viable if it was going into retail.
And lastly, let's hear about Longi Neto's design inspired by Marth.
Very fun. The fabric choice is what I liked a lot, and the way that the fabric pieces and the patterns were put together in this piece. The juxtaposition of the patterns was really fun.
Very simple silhouette, but close up you could see a lot of the detail. It was very sophisticated. It's really incorporated Marth's favorite colors, which is light blue and lime green. And I loved how the fabric was manipulated to create, you know, the second color. And just the juxtaposition of the two colors was really cool.
Wow, that was really helpful feedback from our judges. Did you guys know that one of our judges, Kahindo, is actually a partner of our artisan collective? She sourced fabric made by our artisans for her latest spring-summer collection. In fact, some of those pieces are actually going to be available on Rent the Runway to rent through their platform.
It's amazing. We're so excited. And can we take a second and talk about Concetta's outfit? Those pants,
yes,
and
the cape.
It makes me kind of feel nostalgic about Chicago summers when boating was a thing.
And I loved Taylor Graves' outfit. So that was the one that had the jacket and like the puffy sleeves and the big buttons here on the side. I thought it was really unique.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what everybody else thinks. Remember, one vote is $20, so that means you can vote multiple times for different looks, or you can cast more than one vote for a look. So if you want to, say, donate $1,000, you can cast 50 votes for Amy's outfit, or you can spread that 1,000 out and give 5 votes to Longi and 10 votes to Taylor, and continue on that way.
But don't worry, your credit card will only be processed once the event concludes at 6:30 p.m. Central on Saturday, June 20th. This goes for voting on any of the garments and also bidding on the silent auction packages if you win. Basically, any donations you make throughout the evening will go into a shopping cart, and GiveSmart will check it out for you once our event concludes.
And let's create some fierce competition in that silent auction. Who wants to come to Kenya with us? You get to meet our girls and go on safari.
And our self-care everyday package is incredible. For our Chicago friends who are tuning in tonight, if you've never been to IU Spa, you have to check it out. Jaylon and I love it. So go over to our silent auction and start bidding.
It's the best. And so for the silent auction, to make sure that you win, you want to check in over the next 48 hours to make sure that you have the winning bid. And also to check on your favorite design to make sure that it's winning.
What do they win, though?
So the voters win making an impact on refugees, of course.
No, I mean the designers.
I know. So the designers, the winner of this year's fashion challenge, they will get showcased at Chicago's modern women's boutique Felt next week. And the boutique is actually going to be having a selection of RefuSHE's products there as well for a limited time.
Wow, that's awesome. A quick round of applause for our partners at Felt. And remember, you, the audience members, will choose this year's 2020 Fashion Challenge winner. So, judge the looks based on creativity, originality, and its ability to tell the story of the young woman behind the fabric. I'm so excited about this year's participating designers. One of our designers, Longi Nedu, has actually participated in the past 5 fashion challenges before this one. Longi has also had the chance to witness our work firsthand in Nairobi when she collaborated on a jewelry line with our artisan collective in 2015.
I'm actually wearing a pair right now.
But in all seriousness, we hope that all of you will be able to visit our programs in Nairobi, so make sure to check out that silent auction package.
And to our new designers this year, Taylor Graves and Xochitl Herrera, welcome to our version of Project Runway. Taylor is a visual merchandiser at Club Monaco, and Xochitl is an apparel engineer at Chicago Pattern Maker.
We're also so excited to have designer Amy Fenderson back for this year's fashion challenge. Amy was a member of our inaugural cohort in 2011. And Kate Van Asten, who is a graduate from FIT in New York and then came back here and started her brand Wolfka. We're so excited to have both of them. We are also so honored to have a former refugee, Fraley Lee, participate as a designer this year. Our girls would be so honored and blown away to know that someone with a similar story as theirs is now a women's evening wear designer in a major city like Chicago. So as you know, this is the first year ever where the designers received an inspiration card of a RefuSHE participant to serve as their muse for this year's event.
Celia, Fraley's muse, was the youngest of 10 children and the only girl in a prominent family with royal lineage. We certainly see her royalty shine through in that beautiful gown.
And Xochitl's muse, Bershab, had to flee her home country, Eritrea, due to religious persecution. But now she's a proud leader in our artisan collective, and she recently shared her story with Essence in an article that was published earlier this week. If you haven't yet read it, check it out on our Facebook page. We are RefuSHE for that link.
And we're so happy for our RefuSHE alumna, Mart, Longi's muse, who was resettled with her younger sister, Falon, in upstate New York, actually 20 minutes from my parents' house outside of Syracuse. The climate is very different from Nairobi, but they're settling in pretty well despite the snow.
I'm seeing a lot of voting happening right now. Take a look at this.
It's great. And while you're voting, we have another surprise. Right before our event, one of our long-term supporters has come in and said that they will match up to $10,000. Which means that for the next 48 hours, every dollar that you donate will be matched by them for up to $10,000.
So you know what that means. We need you to help us spread the word. Your friends, family, you can help determine this year's 2020 Fashion Challenge winner and get us that $10,000 match.
And that goal of $150,000. Our RefuSHE family truly is the best. Thank you so much. This calls for a celebration. If we can have everyone meet us back at the event page for a toast and some thank yous.
Wow, thank you so much, everyone, for rallying and investing in a refugee girl's potential. Your support means the world to us.
I think this calls for a celebration. Should we pop the champagne?
I think so.
If you're at home, you can join us with champagne or sparkling apple juice. We've got a couple of thank yous to some incredible people. First, we want to thank our sponsors, Cabby and the Chicago Fashion Incubator. This event wouldn't be possible without you.
And we want to thank the 7 participating designers, Amy Fenderson, Xochitl Herrera-Shear, Conchetta Cipriano, Fraley Lee, Longi Nedu, Taylor Graves, and Kate Van Asten, who created designs in the middle of a global pandemic with interrupted supply chains. That is no small feat. Thank you so much for volunteering your time and creating these amazing designs.
Thank you to our judges and community of global ambassadors who kept spreading the word and getting people to our event.
A big shout out to our videographer, Chu Batsehan of Chu Creative, our technical guru, Michael Agambar, and the rest of our incredible RefuSHE team for putting together this event.
A huge thank you to UNHCR supporter Kat Graham for her continued support and helping get people excited about our event.
We also want to thank our brilliant alumna, Chantal Zuzi, who is a bright and shining star. Her strength, courage, kindness are an inspiration to all of us.
And thank you to UNHCR Special Envoy Angelina Jolie. Thank you for all the hard work that you do on behalf of children, women, and girls around the world. We are so grateful for your continued support of RefuSHE and believing in our girls. For those of you who haven't seen that heartwarming reunion between Chantal and Angelina Jolie, you can check it out on our blog.
Lastly, a toast to you, our audience. Thank you to each and every one of you who have tuned in to show up and support the refugee girls and young women in our care. Your support provides them with the safety and care they need to heal, the education and resources they need to grow, and the healing community and the opportunity to become the designers of their own stories. We are so grateful.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for making the time to be with us. Thank you for your generosity. We hope you will encourage others to tune in through the next 48 hours, vote and bid before the event ends at 6:30 p.m. Central on Saturday, June 20th, World Refugee Day. We hope to see you back here that evening so that you can hear the winner and see if your favorite design takes it home. Thank you for taking the time to amplify refugee voices, and good night, everyone.
Good night.
Yeah. Label human. Yeah.
At the end of the day, we'll just label human. Learn from our mistakes, capable of change. At the end of the day, we'll just label human. Learn from our mistakes, capable of change. Tunasonga mbele. Tunaenda wote. Tunasonga mbele. Tunasonga mbele. Why can't we relate? Yet we all be same, tearing us to pieces for how we perceive this. We could not be tamed if we just made the change. At the end of the day, we're just labeled human. At the end of the day, we're just labeled human. Learn from our mistakes, capable of change. At the end of the day, we're just labeled human. Learn from our mistakes, capable of change. Tunasonga mbele.
Voice is so profound, not sure I might renounce, yes. Reality, the sound, etching deeper, finding freedom in the self, yeah. Endless passion, endless wealth, transcendent light in my spiritual realm. Fluid purple energy, knowledge from life's water well. Kissing love and I had to tell. Kissing life and I had to tell.
I
label Nina Saka, or do I call my name Nina Chase? Easy answers. And will I take the name I was say Wanataja? Waki call the name of this guy baking stanzas. Something they do freely cause labels are free, but labels ain't deep enough to be who you be. So ataka waitika, majina wanaita. You don't need the label to be, we're all human.
Fighter gene, genetic deep, renegade, never been afraid. Dragonfire my breath, melt away the fears, dies away the fear, for rises up the spear. A symbol for hope, don't despair, rise your head up high to the skyward gaze and follow in the light of a star as I shine this path. Labeled human.
At the end of the day, we'll just label human. Learn from our mistakes.
Nasonga mbele. Ooh.